But the problem, major problem with this basketball is the inseam in this basketball, this rubber strip going all around the basketball. Initially, when the basketball is really new, completely brand new, it's slippery. That's never happened with a Wilson basketball with me before. I've never experienced a Wilson basketball that has slippery inseams in its grip channels. Now, like I said with my original review of specifically this basketball, maybe once you break this basketball in over a few weeks or a few months, maybe these rubber inseams will break down a little bit and not be as slick and therefore not as slippery. But at least very brand new, this basketball feels completely slippery in these inseams, and to me that's not really acceptable. That's not something that you should have to deal with when it comes to having a brand new basketball. Now, don't get me wrong, there is they are rubber and they do feel a little bit of rubbery on your fingertips, but because they're so slick, because it's so flat and slick, it's just not acceptable how actually slippery these inseams are, especially in direct comparison to the Wilson inseams. These inseams are actually better than any other Wilson basketball that I can remember or think of, especially composite Spalding basketballs. The inseams on here are just exactly what you would want for an inseam on a grip channel on a basketball. I can palm this basketball easily because of the stickiness of these inseams. I cannot do that with this Wilson. It just won't stick because the inseams are slippery, and that's not a problem that you should have with any basketball. And that complicates things because the material of this basketball, the panels are so nice, they feel so good, that they're immediately negated by where you would put your fingertips. If you catch this ball on a pass and your fingertips, you'll automatically go to the grip channels because that's how you like to shoot a basketball. Like most people shoot a basketball that way. When you put your fingertips here and they slide around and that's where you use to shoot, that's going to be a major problem unless and until these grip channels get broken in and become more tacky the way they're supposed to be. Like this Wilson Forge basketball feels great and amazing in the hand unless and until you put your fingertips on the grip channels, and then you're like, well, that's not right. That's not the way it's supposed to be at all. Talking about durability, because these basketballs are, on that top tier level of composite leather basketballs, the durability is going to be as long as you could reasonably expect for any basketball. The higher quality of the basketball, the longer its lifespan is going to be, and thus, since these basketballs are both on that top tier, they're going to last you as long as you could possibly reasonably expect. Factoring that into the value of each basketball, both these basketballs are about $40 in 2024, and to me that makes sense because, like I said, right, the TF series on the leather end of the spectrum, the Forge series on the rubber end of the spectrum. This is the highest level, this is the lowest level. They come together right in the middle of that composite leather spectrum. $40 to be right in the middle of that spectrum and be top tier, top level composite leather outdoor basketballs. $40 for each basketball, I think, is exactly the right price. So these basketballs are very comparable to each other. As you can probably tell, I do have a pretty big beef with this Forge basketball, that beef being these unacceptable grip channels. Whereas not only do I not have a beef with the Spalding TF250, but I'm actually pleasantly surprised by it. The problem in the conundrum comes into play where this basketball just feels so good.